about it in this week's Time. Did you see it?
No, really?
Your name said it too, Daisy. Listen. Portly Sheridan Whiteside, critic, lecturer, wit, radio orator, intimate friend of the great and weirdly, last week found his celebrated wit no weapon with which to combat an injured hip. The Falstaffian Mr. Whiteside, trekking across the country on one of his annual lecture tours, met his Waterloo in the shape of a small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Ernest W. Stanley of Mesalia, Ohio. Results: canceled lecture tours and disappointment to thousands of adoring club women in Denver, Omaha, and Points West. Further results: the idol of the airwaves rests into further notice in the home of surprise Mr. and Mrs. Stanley. Possibility: Christmas may be postponed this year. What's that mean? A small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Think of it! Of course, if it were my house, Daisy, I'd have a bronze plate put on the step right where he fell.
Well, of course I felt terrible about it.
Have the cigarettes come yet?
Yes, Miss Cutler, my friend might do that. This is Miss Cutler, Mr. Whiteside's secretary. Pleased to meet you. May I move this chair? You mean he's coming out now? He is indeed. He's coming out?
I can hardly wait!
Don't! Mr. Whiteside is coming out!
Sarah, Mr. Whiteside's coming out!
I'm so excited, I don't know what to do!
Me too, I know that all simply.
Good morning, Dr. Bradley.
Good morning. Well, here we all are, very bright. Bring our little patient out.
I may vomit.
Good morning, Mr. Whiteside. I'm Mrs. Ernest Stanley, remember? And this is Mr. Stanley.
Howdy do, Mr. Whiteside. I hope that you're feeling better.
Thank you. I am suing you for $150,000. And while we're on the subject of Mr. Jefferson, why don't you ask him to pay your salary since he seems to be taking up all your time?
Come, Sherry, it's not as bad as all that.
It is, my dear. I have not been able to contact you, not knowing what haylofts you frequent.
Sherry, stop behaving like a spoiled child.
Don't take that patronizing tone with me, you flea-bit Cleopatra. I'm sick and tired of you rushing off every time my back is turned and behaving like some love-sick schoolgirl.
Sherry, I'm afraid you might have hit the nail on the head. I'm in love.
Nonsense. This is merely just some form of delayed puberty.
No, Sherry, I think this is the real thing. You're going to lose a very excellent secretary.
You're out of your mind.
I think I might be a little bit. Mr. Jefferson doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to try my darndest to marry him.
Is that all?
Yes, except that I suppose this might be what you call my resignation, as soon as you found someone else.
But Sherry, what about this play? After all, I came all the way from New York, even on Christmas Eve. I'm so excited ever since I got your phone call. Where is it? When can I read it?
Well, here's the situation. This young author, his name is Bert Jefferson. He gave me the play with the intention on me giving it to Judy Garland. It's a magnificent part, and God knows I feel disloyal to Judy.
Sherry!
Anyhow, here you are. Now I've done this much, my dear. The rest is up to you. Just how you'll go about persuading him, I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
Darling, how can I ever thank you? Does he know I'm coming? Mr. Jefferson, I mean.
Oh, no. You're just here visiting me, remember? You'll meet him and that's that. I'll get him to take you out to dinner, work around to the play. Great God, do I have to tell you how to do this? How'd you get all those other parts?
Sherry! Well, I better head off to the hotel and get into something more attractive. I've got a taxi waiting outside. Darling, you're wonderful.